Hi, my name is Terri Sproul, and I want to welcome you to my studio. This is our Tuesday night live show. So if you're joining me not on a Tuesday night and you're checking out my YouTube channel, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And think about joining me next Tuesday. I do this over on Google Hangouts, so you can find me at Terri Sproul on Google Plus. So think about joining me there. Got lots of people in the room, so thank you and welcome to everybody. I really appreciate you showing up. Got all kinds of exciting stuff going on, so I want to talk to you about all of that because I went to the YouTube Space Academy yesterday and started my classes. It was so much fun, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited about that. Okay, so let me switch cameras, get started, and I'll talk to you guys more about the YouTube thing and actually, what else did I want to talk to you about? Oh, the other exciting news about Golden. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Okay, so let me switch cameras. And I do have Joe here with me tonight, and he's going to help me put up the links. And also, if you missed the links, there's my blog right down there on the bottom. So you can stop by my blog tomorrow, and I will have all the links. So I'm going to turn that logo off, just because nobody wants to see that while I'm working. Over on YouTube, I just did a video for you guys last week, so I wanted to share that with you. So do get a chance to go over there and watch it. It's a real short little 11-minute video on this page that I made, and it's featuring my brand new stamps from Sin City Stamps. Isn't that pretty? So go check that out. I'd appreciate it. Okay, did a tiny bit of prep prior to getting here. I got the tissue paper. This is Tim's tissue paper called Airmail. He's got a couple of them. He's got one with butterflies on it, and he's got this one that's got Airmail on it. That's pretty cool. So I glued that down onto my sheet using gel medium, and that's all I did. So it's just glued down, and I cut around the edges and made it fit to my page well. So that's all I've done. And tonight I'm going to use the silks, and I'm going to be using lots of different colors. And these are the silk acrylic paints, and they are from Color Art, and you can find those at colorart.com, and that is spelled the French way, COLOURARTE.com. Colors I'm using tonight is Opal Fire, Vintage Mint, Guadalupe Green, Sunburst, Catalina Mist, Moss Green, Wisteria. I think I got them all. So anyways, all these beautiful colors. Look how pretty all this is. So that's what we're going to start with. We're just going to start doing this right off the bat. So I'm opening up all my little jars. So while I'm opening my jars, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the YouTube Academy. I was so excited for starters to be invited to go to this. I'm going to start off with a Vintage Mint. And what I'm just going to do is just put some little tabs of color miscellaneously around my page. Not even no rhyme or reason, just getting some color down. So while I'm doing this, let me talk about the YouTube thing. I went to the YouTube Academy. It's a 5-class academy that they're doing. And so it's 5 weeks total. So I'm going to be going again next week. And last night I learned about the 10 fundamentals of YouTube. So it was quite interesting. And I'm hoping to learn even more. So I'm going to continue my green kind of section here. I'm going to go in and grab the, which one is this? Caribbean Mist. And again, I'm just continuing doing the little...
You know, man, you should sound Caribbean when you're painting like that, man. Come on now.
The Caribbean.
Come on, man.
Oh, yeah, that's... we don't want to hear me do accents.
You can't do Jamaican, man. Come on.
Do Jamaican, man?
I don't think I can either, actually.
I wasn't going to tell you that. So... but another thing that happened to me this week that I wanted to share with you guys, I'm very excited about, is one of my live videos from last year on the golden high flows. Golden found it, I guess, and they asked if they could use it in the NAPTA show. The NAPTA show is the National Art Material Trade Show. It's the it's like CHA, but it's for artists. It's more art supplies than it is craft supplies. And they asked to use my video, so I was very excited and very honored to have that. So thank you guys for liking that video and getting it to the point where somebody like Golden seen it. So again, I'm just continuing with my colors, just doing little dashes around the page here, nothing even fancy. I'm cleaning my brush off in between. So now I'm going to go into, let's go within some, actually, because green and pink, which is the color I pick up, make brown, and I don't want that to happen, I'm going to do a real quick dry. Reminder to keep your heat gun moving, because acrylic paint, if you get it hot, will bubble. Now that can be kind of cool sometimes, so think about doing that. So yeah, so if you want some texture, taking your heat gun and heating up acrylic paint really does give it a bubble, so it is quite cool to check that out. So that could be a really neat texture if you're looking for a fun way to do a texture. So again, I'm just going around and making spots with the paint. You could do this same technique with regular acrylic paint, but the reason I grabbed the silks, besides the fact that they're so pretty, they're translucent, so it's going to allow my background to come through. So if you do decide to go with regular acrylic paints, you would want to either put some glaze into those paints to make them a little more transparent, or you would want to go with a paint that is transparent. So again, just going with another color. This is Wisteria. This is such a pretty color right here. I keep saying that with all the colors, don't I? Because they are all pretty. That's the problem. It's a good problem to have, though. Okay, where else can I put this? Okay, next, looks like it's going to be yellow. Yellow, you know, if I have to be completely honest, yellow is probably one of my least favorite colors. But when it comes to art, yellow is the color that you really need to bring into your art. It just really makes everything pop. See how instantly that yellow is showing up and it's giving it pop? Now, I, for some reason, didn't grab my moss green, but that's okay. Guess it was not meant to be in the page. Or maybe I'll go back and put some more in. But yeah, definitely come in and think about using yellow more often, even if you're not a yellow fan, because it really does make a huge difference in your art if you bring yellow in.
It kind of reminds me of lots of little tickets.
It does, doesn't it? Since I have some spots, I'm going to go ahead and grab that moss green and bring it in. So I'm just making sure I got every spot filled in. Do you have to get every spot filled in? No. But it's fun. And this is very how do you say that word? Therapeutic. Therapeutic. There's the word I'm trying to spit out. because you don't really have to think.
Did you have cough syrup before this class tonight?
No, but I did have to drive home from LA today. That's a feat in itself. Took me 3 hours to drive home from LA today. Crazy. So I'm putting all my lids back on real quick and let my page dry. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of two things. Okay, that one goes here. That one goes here. Okay, and I'm going to let this dry, and then we're going to do some stamping. Okay. I'm not doing a class next week because I'm going to be going to La Brea tar pits with my hubby.
That sounds like a sticky situation to me.
Could be. A couple little blobs, so I'm going to pick them up. See, so they'll dry a little quicker. Okay, looks like I got it all now. Looks like it's pretty dry. One more blob. So yes, no class next Tuesday, but I do plan on trying to finish another video for you guys this week. So do subscribe to my YouTube channel so you get a notification. Almost dry. Who's those high flows work, Terry? I'm not sure if you're who's those golden high flows work? Can you re-ask that, Kitty Cat? I'm not sure what you're asking. Would those high flows work, Terry? To do this technique? If that's what you're asking, the high flows are a little too watery. So go back and watch that video. I will post it for you guys. But it's called Golden High Flows is the name of the video. And I show how to make a really cool background technique with that. And they work with a lot of water. This is a stamp set. It's all flowers from hot off the press. And I'm using Indian ink, and I'm just going to stamp these flowers randomly around the page. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to pick up a couple different flowers. So I'm going to and I'm not going to worry if I don't get it perfect or anything like that. Reminder to always stamp off your page. Make sure your scene goes off the page. Don't leave it all in the center. The eye does not like that. I hope I answered your question, Kitty Cat. I'm assuming that was what you were asking, but I'm going to switch flowers. There's a bunch of different flowers on this sheet of flowers there. Oh, you guys can't see that at all because of that background. So there's a whole mess load of them here. I'm not a huge fan of acrylics, but I have to admit I need more flower stamps. So I need to make some for myself. That's what I need to do. I have my own stamp line. I guess I need to have some flowers. Hint, hint. I need to get on that. Okay. So let's go with one more flower on here. And again, I'm using Indian ink, and the reason I'm using Indian ink is because it is a permanent ink. It will not, once it's wet, excuse me, once it's dry, you will not have any problems with getting a wet, anything wet on top of it. It will continue to, it will not bleed or anything. So I answered your question, Kat? Good. But I will definitely, you know, search for that. Actually, if you do a search for golden high flows, my video comes up about 3rd or 4th on the list, so that's good. Okay, so there's my background. Just got some flowers and a little bit of paint that's still wet right there for some reason. That green does not want to dry. Let's get that dry real quick. Okay, now I want to talk to you guys about making your own masks, and that's what we're going to do tonight, is work with masks. This one right here is probably one of my favorite techniques. Finding an image in a magazine and cutting the image out. Couple things that you want to be careful when you're looking at magazine images. One, you see how her arms and her legs are separated in this image? That's going to make a nice mask. If her arms were down by her side, when you do the mask, it just doesn't look right. You would want it to be like have her hands on her hips or something. That would work, but definitely, you know, look at that. Now what I do is I take a transparency. You don't have to do this, but this is how I do it. I take a transparency, I adhere it to the magazine image, and then I cut it out. The reason I do that is now this image can be used over and over and over because it's, you know, it's good. You could do it and cut it out, use it once, throw it away, and be good. The other thing that I like to do is make masks on my Zing machine. That's my die cutting machine. And if you are interested in purchasing a Zing machine, it's the best one out on the market. And I would suggest getting it from Joe because he is the best customer service you're ever going to get. So literally, anytime you have a question on the Zing, you can call Joe up or email Joe, and he will answer your question for you or walk you through it. So it's awesome. I'm trying to encourage him to do some more videos too. So this one, I normally just, for when I'm not doing a show, I would just cut it out on my Zing with a transparency. Now I glued a white piece of paper onto the back of my transparency so that you guys could see it. That's the reason this is white, but you don't have to do that part. So what I'm going to do is I like to use a black matte paint when I do this technique. You don't have to. You can definitely use gloss. I think the matte has a better look to it. Looks like newspaper. What looks like newspaper? So what I am doing now is I put some black matte paint out, and I like to use a makeup sponge. I like to use the end there. I tap on and then tap off. So sorry, you can't really see that. So I got some glue, some paint on there, and then I'm tapping it off to the side. So there's very little. This isn't real juicy, is I guess the word. Couple other things too. On a note for design, this particular design that I'm using here, she is looking a certain way. She's looking one way or the other. Make sure she's not looking off your page. Make sure she's looking to the other page. Because if she's looking off the page, if she's looking that way, the viewer's eyes will follow her eyes and will go to off the page instead of on to look at your whole layout. So all I'm doing right now is going around the image with the black paint. Doing the tapping motion, as you see. If this makes you nervous, you could glue down, I wouldn't say glue down, temporarily tack down your image if it makes you nervous holding it like this. Obviously it doesn't bother me, but if it does, you could do a temporary tack on there. So I've got all the way around the image as much as I want for right now. And now I'm going to very gently lift it. And there she is. Okay, now I actually want to continue this black going across the page, but I want to do it with the flowers. So what I'm going to do now is I'm juicing up my thing again. I'm going to start laying this flower down and going around it just like I did with the stencil girl image. And then I would continue to move that. This book doesn't want to stay down this way. Stay! Sorry here, guys. I'm having a little difficulty. The book's wanting to move on me. Okay. Let me make sure I get this good enough before I lift it. Oh, missed it down there, but I can fix that. So see where we're going? Now this was, remember my name of my class tonight was Black Makes Color Pop. Ugh. God, I've been up way too early driving home. My mouth doesn't want to work tonight. So the black on this page is really making the colors that we put down in the background pop. I'm going to have to tie this book down here in a minute. It wants to have a mind of its own. Okay, and again, even with this design that we're doing, make sure you go off the page. So I'm going to, hold that down because it's driving me nuts, and have this one going off the page. So see how that one going off the page like that. Isn't that awesome? I think I can get one more in here. So let's go with just a little bit coming in on this corner. And then I'm going to fill in the black all around these images. See that? Oh, look how pretty that is. Okay, so now you would just go in and continue to fill your image, your black, into the rest of the page. Now, you could also, I'm using black acrylic paint. We've decided that. But you could have laid that image down, especially if you had multiple flowers. You could have laid the, and you could have done that. I could have done that with my zing. I could have cut multiple images because the machine does it for you. And I could have laid those down, and then I could have taken some type of black spray, like Dilutions or whoever sprays you like to use.
Even your airbrush system.
Or yes, or even the airbrush system too from eBrush would work also.
And I don't have it up on my site, but I sell a really inexpensive stencil vinyl that is really, really cheap, and it's meant to stick really well, especially around the edges, but then to peel up without damaging what's underneath. So if you cut the flowers out of a stencil vinyl, you could stick them all down, spray, paint, do whatever you want, peel them up, throw them away, and you're talking pennies.
That's a great idea. So you get the zing and the stencil material from Mr. Joseph there. But I really like the matte look that I'm getting here, because I think it really brings out the, especially since the silks have that really pretty shine to them, I think it brings out the shine in the silks even more than if you just if you use a shiny black paint. Personal opinion. Of course, I run out of paint right at the end. Never fails. But look how cool that page is. Isn't it beautiful already? Yes, I'm very excited about my class next week at YouTube. It's about optimizing your YouTube page. So that should be really educational. So hopefully, and I do plan on doing more and more videos, not just the live videos. I want to do some more other videos. So there we go. I really like that. I think I'm happy with that right there. Okay, quick dry. I think I got it dry enough. You do need to be careful when you use these. I'm going to use the painter's pen tonight, and this one is in white. You do need to shake it. It's always a good. We do not have any sound. Other videos are working fine. Is everybody else having problems with sound? I see sound on my side.
Oh, I can hear you too.
So, okay. Sherry, I don't know what to tell you. That's weird. Hi, Rick. Long time no see. So I'm taking the white pen, and I'm just going to make dots around the edge of my flowers. Do you want to make sure that you have your black paint dry before you do this, or it will ruin your white pen? You can, clean it by, doing it on a paper towel off to the side. And I'm just doing real simple dots, nothing fancy here, just to give it more detail. The YouTube building that I went to, they only have, found this out last night, they have a YouTube in New York, in LA, and in London. This is only the third time that they're giving this class out that I'm taking. I had to apply for it and get accepted, so I was very honored to get accepted. What else? I want to tour the building. The building we went to was quite large. I was shocked how big the YouTube building is. But I didn't get there super early, and they looked like they were really busy when I got there yesterday. So I didn't want to ask for a tour, but I plan on asking for a tour before we finish all the classes. But yeah, I was really shocked how big the building was when I drove up. Doesn't that look awesome? Just love this. So again, and this is very therapeutic. God, I can't talk tonight. Because you don't even have to think, you're just making dots. I'm not sure if I'm going to make them around her or not, but I do got a really cute quote that I want to use here in a minute. Finish up my dots. Cool. There we go. Finish my dots. Okay, where's my quote go? Where'd my quote go? Wow, seriously. Where'd my quote go? I don't know where I put my quote. Is it hidden on my desk? Nope. Might have to grab another one because I don't know where I put it. not sitting anywhere I can see it. Oh, that's weird. I don't have my shit together at all today. Sorry, guys. Okay, grabbing another quote. Hold on. Okay, this is a quote from Versus, and it says, "Everyone is a star and deserves to twinkle." I think that's very appropriate for my YouTube class. So I am going to stamp this onto a white piece of paper. Oh, I didn't grab a white piece of paper either. And again, I'm going to use Indian ink. Actually, I got an idea. Since we were talking about the high flows, let me grab a couple and let's do a little bit of high flows on this piece of paper. Okay, wasn't in the agenda, but that's okay. The high flows, I always get the paper wet. This is just a regular piece of cardstock. I'm going to put a couple drops. My end's clogged, hold on. A couple drops of the, nope, needs to be shook. These are very high pigment on here, and I'm going to go with, oh, that one's open. Get them wet. That's how you move them. You just get them wet. Start moving them. Let's bring this red in. Mine are all clogged. I need to clean them. Actually, I need Joe Morgan here. He'd be having a field day on my paints, getting them all clean for me. So we're just going to let them move, and I'm going to stamp over this. So this is what's fun about these things. You just let them move and spray them, and just, they make cool backgrounds. A little more of this blue in there. Meow. Okay, I like that. I'll let that dry. Again, I got it a little hot, so it did start to bubble a little bit on me, but that's okay. Oh, my hands are messy. Messy, messy, messy. Okay, going to ink up my quote again. I'm going to stamp it. I'm using the Indian ink again, because it is a permanent ink, as always. Okay, that's a little lighter than I think I want it. Let's see if I can get one more try at this. Maybe that ink pad is starting to dry out. I'm using this one. And yes, it's another one of Indian inks. Yes, I have 2 Indian inks on my desk. Same company, same ink pad. That's how much I use that ink pad. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Now I am going to, I think I'm going to make a tag out of it. So just cutting the quote out, a little larger than I need it. Paper is still very wet right there, so it didn't cut very well. Joe, what is the mask stuff called? Are you talking about the stuff that's on his website? So to make a tag, I cut it out larger than I want to. And what you do is you want to fold, but don't crease it. See, I'm going to get these two tips to touch. See that? And then you just cut that off at an angle and open it back up, and I have a perfect tag. And I'm going to rip this edge just to give myself a little more texture, because I like texture. Now, I think I want to grab some ribbon. It's a piece of ribbon. It's nice and bright. And I'm going to fold that in half, cut it at an angle, grab my tiny attacher, and I'm going to just staple that on there. I like the staple look, but if you don't like the staple look, you can definitely, I don't think there's any staples in that one. And yes, I have two of these too. Don't ask me why, I just do.
I think you probably took one of mine, now that I'm thinking about it.
I doubt it, but... Okay, where did I put my book? Jeez, I'm losing everything tonight.
Email me if anyone's interested in stencil vinyl. My email is joer, at create, that's create, the letter N like Nancy, craft.com, createandcraft.com.
Okay, I think I'm just going to throw that on there like that. Right there, and then we are done. I'm going to grab some gel medium. Paintbrush. Clean paintbrush, preferably. Didn't that tag turn out pretty? See, isn't that a beautiful background using the high flows? So it is a little bit different than using acrylic paints. Just a little bit. They just flow. I guess, you know, what the difference is they're highly pigmented. And so you can water them down more. I've talked to you guys about this in the past. Some paints, when you water them down too much, acrylic paint has little acrylic pieces in it. They're like little circles, for lack of a better word. And when you water down acrylic paint too much, those little acrylic pieces that are circles start getting spread apart. And when they're spread apart, they don't adhere. When they're together, they adhere to each other. So if you put too much water in acrylic paint, it waters it down and it will not adhere as well. And it also will water down the pigment, the color that's in it. High flows are designed to be watered down. They're actually designed that way. So you can add a lot of water to them and they're not going to be a problem. And they don't, it doesn't wash out the color, the pigment that's in it. It still keeps that vibrant color. So that's the difference with high flows over watering down, say, acrylic paint. So I am pretty happy with that. I think I am going to go down around and do dots around her too. I think that will just tie it in together. But I don't know if I'm going to go up her legs. I think I might just do around the edge. But yes, so this is basically my idea for my page tonight, is to make your colors pop by using something like black. You wouldn't have to use black. You could use a dark blue, maroon would work. You know what I'm saying? The darker tones of colors if you're not necessarily a black person. I like the look of black. I think black makes colors pop, personally. So again, I'm just going to continue going around like that, and I think I'm pretty much done. Is there any questions? Joe, did you take care of that one question somebody had about where to find your acrylic on your website?
Yeah, I said I don't have it up on the site yet. Just email me and I can tell you how much it is. It goes by the foot. I think it's 15 inches wide, and it's amazingly cheap. If you take it in squares, it's easier to ship because I can put it in 8.5 by 11 envelopes. But if you want to roll, then I have to find a box or a tube. That's a little odd. It's doable, though.
Yeah, and the other thing that you can do with that, with their Zing machine, is, you know, all those fancy quotes and stuff that people pull up on their walls? You could do that with the Zing machine and this vinyl that he's talking about. So, okay, I'm going to switch cameras and say goodbye. Okay, so there is our beautiful page. I like the way this turned out. I think that's a really fun page. So I taught you how to make stencils 2 different ways, and then think about, you know, making, if you want something to pop, black is the one that does it, so think about it. Very nice. Everything looks pretty. Well, thank you, Angie. I really appreciate that. Angie, I did find your package, by the way, hidden in my husband's car, not mailed. So I will get that out to you this week. So there's my page again. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my page. Please share my page. I greatly appreciate it. And again, I will not see you next Tuesday. No show next Tuesday. Be back the following Tuesday, though. Okay? Thanks, guys. Bye.